do you
Okay,
have?
I just started. So, Jason, first, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Jason Alfarth. My spiritual name is Ahava. I embraced this name 6 months ago as I'm going through a beautiful spiritual journey on this planet and having fun, learning a lot about all the superfoods and super herbs of the world. But I think today, Tucci, we're going to focus on something you mentioned before we put the camera on, which was
Coconut water.
coconut water. Wow, what a treat. Coconut water is our blood. It's plasma. It's the same consistency as plasma. If I was to walk outside now and ride on my bike in Brooklyn, Tucci, and I was to get hit by a car on the streets of Brooklyn, and I was on the corner, and you came out and said, Ahava, should I call EMS if I was still conscious? I would say no, don't call EMS. Just go inside and get me a raw vegan coconut water and pour it directly into my mouth, because that would be the same consistency as I'm losing blood on the corner of the street. You're replacing that blood, the platelets, the red blood cells, the white blood cells, with coconut water. It's literally a blood transfusion. So that's coconut water. Coconut, my first experience with coconuts was down in the Bahamas. I was a 6-year-old boy, and I met a little Bahamian boy who was climbing a coconut tree. And I was playing ping pong with my sister, and for some reason the energy drew me to the coconut tree. And this young boy from the Bahamas taught me how to climb a coconut tree at age 6 or 7. And so he went up a tree with his feet. I could kind of demonstrate, I don't know if I can show you on the camera, but using the inner portions of his feet to climb up the tree. And he went up, and then he tilted the coconut tree back, and the coconut fell from the tree. And then we went to a little table, and he had a machete, and he cut open the coconut water. And I just remember being in this natural setting in the Bahamas with beautiful blue skies and just a beautiful pristine beach in a little lagoon. And this boy at my age, and he was cutting up coconut water. And, you know, it was tourism, of course, and so I tasted the coconut water, and I loved the taste so much. I brought coconuts. We climbed the tree and knocked maybe 5 or 6 coconuts down. We chopped them up, and we brought them back to my family. And then, of course, you know, he charged us for it, so I had to ask my parents for money for it. And but that experience back to coconut water on my journey was really important, because it just showed me how amazing things that, you know, are from nature, from trees, from the ground. These beautiful cocoa nuts, they're actually nuts. And they're big, large, round, awesome, you know, tree nuts. And they're full of,
Oops.
oh, that's okay. They're full of phenols. Phenols are, it's not in every American's lexicon. They're basically antioxidants to the nth power. So every now and then you'll get a pink coconut. The water in the coconut will be pink. That means that it's full of phenols. When we jog, or when we play a sport, or when we play tennis or volleyball, and we're using a lot of energy, what we want to do is replace all the nutrients with coconut water. You know, coconut water has magnesium, calcium, all these amazing things for our blood and for our bone growth. And so raw vegan coconut water is the answer. Now in the United States, we get coconuts. They're dipped in formaldehyde, but it's okay. We don't have to, this is the only fruit or vegetable or nut that I would eat without, that does not necessarily need to be organic, because the formaldehyde that the coconut is dipped into doesn't penetrate the nut, or we'd like to believe that. So you can have a nice fresh coconut, doesn't need to be organic, even if it's dipped in formaldehyde or pesticides or residues. We're totally cool. You can take the meat, you can make it into a shake with the coconut water, or you can just put a straw into the top, which is really tasty and awesome, you know, when you go down to the tropics, or even in, you know, here on the mainland, and enjoy the benefits of the coconut. So coconuts, what else? I mean, what else? Do you have any other questions about coconuts, Tache, or?
I might have one more question. Oops. Do you know anything about the like the sugar load of coconut water? Because, I mean, I read a lot of sources about it. Some say that diabetics can drink coconut water, and some say they shouldn't. What do you think on that?
Well, when we're talking about sugar, it gets very tricky. We've been conditioned on sugar. Sugar, in the raw sense of the word, even diabetics can have a lot of raw sugar. I truly believe that. There'll be some people that agree and disagree on this, but I think that if you're having citrus sugar or green sugars from a green, there are sugars from the green, those are totally copacetic. I think coconut, there's sugar in coconuts, but it's mostly minerals and magnesium and phosphorus and stuff like that. So you would be okay drinking that too. The sugar from a coconut is totally okay, even if you have those ailments. These are, remember, pharmaceutical diseases that have been created by the pharmaceutical entities. And so they want you to believe that you shouldn't have that. But that, see, the sugar I'm talking about differs from refined sugar. And most of Americans are just in the blind when it comes to sugar and sugar content. So, you know, if you have a product with refined sugar, man-made sugar, then you're dead in the water. But if you have sugar from a fruit or a vegetable that's raw, vegan, organic, you totally be good. It's the most amazing thing you can put into your temple. You'll flourish. There's no detriment as a diabetic, as you said, to having wonderful the benefits of coconut, even with the sugar. You know the misinformation that they may be giving you. You should be just fine.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
So would you like to give us a recipe with coconut water?
Yeah. You mean like, well, one of the things that's fun to do is, it's pretty simple. If you take a coconut, you take a machete and you chop it open in half. You take the innards, or what they call it, the milk of the coconut, or the meat of the coconut, and you can scoop that out. And then you can take of course, the water, the coconut water is there, and you can blend it together.
Yeah.
So you have a really good base. Now
Right.
it's very good for
And you can ferment that
Yes, you could ferment it
and make it coconut.
kefir.
Make it coconut almond yogurt.
You can make a beautiful coconut almond. That's actually a really awesome recipe to make. Also, I've seen recently at some raw food places in New York a coconut kefir, which is probiotic, so it's really good for. And then you can have fun with it. You can add like goji berries to it. I've had it with goji berries, with raw cacao. You could put maca in there. You could put some of the most amazing superfruits and make a beautiful, thing, which is so stimulating, so living. You know, you're putting it into your live temple. So you put that into your live temple once a day. See what happens to you. That's all I could say. I mean, you have to be a guinea pig and try these things out. And sometimes it'll work, sometimes not. I even would just go with as I typically do. I don't usually go with the meat. Sometimes I'll eat the meat separately, but just drink the coconut water. It's so amazingly beneficial to put. It's really like, it's the most hydrating thing on the planet, besides watermelon. Those two things are the most hydrating fruits and nuts on the planet. The world would be at a real disadvantage without beautiful coconut trees. So that's coconut. Do you want to talk about any other fruit or vegetable, or any things that you have questions on today, Tuche? I'd be happy to continue the conversation with you.
Sure. Let's talk about goji berries then.
Okay. Goji berries are my favorite. I've been affected in a really positive way by the benefits of goji berries. Goji berries, also known as wolf berries, they're grown at the foothills of the Himalayan mountains. But they can stretch all the way into Nevada. So wherever there's a dry, arid climate, goji berries will thrive. Now that is amazing, because most things in dry weather, desert-like weather, they can't survive, or they flower one day a year, and they conserve water. So because of that aspect, they become what's called adaptogens. Adaptogens are like maca is an adaptogen, cactus are adaptive plants. Goji berries are probably the most adaptive adaptogen on the planet. So if you take, Toche, a handful of goji berries and you put them into your beautiful temple, you are going to flourish, because anything that happens during the course of the day, whether it be bad or good, you're going to acclimate to just by ingesting it and putting it into your body. You and take on the attributes of the flower, or in this case, the berry. So that's a really phenomenal aspect of goji berries. I also like goji berries too because I don't know if you could see on camera, but I'm going to be 42 this January, but I think there's no wear and tear created on my temple anymore because eating mostly raw food, mostly vegan. I would say I'd be 100% raw vegan for the last 5 years with a margin of error, and I'm having a lot of superfoods and super herbs now. Superfoods for the last 3 years. Super herbs is really new into my life in the last few months. But I'm finding that, and I can tell you today I was very heavy body because I ate a lot of heavy food and just bulk food. It was raw, but I'm finding that with like things like goji berries that you can eat in small amounts but have amazingly dense qualities, those attributes create less wear and tear on your digestive system, so you could really flourish. So I'm sorry I got off on a tangent, but if we go back to the goji berry, we have what's called HGH, human growth hormone. It sounds what like the steroid guys use for that they use to get bigger, and but really what it is, it's an anti-aging attribute to this plant. And if you put a handful of goji berries in your temple every day, you'll see that it's going to reverse your timeline, reverse or halt your timeline, definitely. But in essence, what you're really doing is the people that are eating less on the planet and more dense foods are living a lot longer. And so in order to eat less, you have to take the volume of your food and bring it down, but take the density of your food and bring it up. Blue-green algae, marine phytoplankton, which Tucci and I shared this morning, some of the other things are phenomenal for us. But so the goji berries have this HGH2, which is the only plant on the planet that has it. It's really phenomenal. Goji berries. What else are some of the qualities of goji? Well, antioxidants. It's very high up there. The only thing that surpasses goji berries on antioxidants, if my memory serves me correctly, is camu camu. Camu camu is a berry from the Brazilian rainforest that is red, and they now sell it liquid and powder in the United States. It's raw, it's vegan, has very high levels of antioxidants. Antioxidants usually bind with the free radicals in your body. Those are the toxins in your body, and they're very good flushing out of the toxicity of your body. Goji berries are very high up there. Goji berries are phenomenal at detoxifying. And then something I learned from Tucci with the goji berry, which you should get credit for. I never knew this, but they're an amazing digestive. That's very high in fiber. It's got a very high fiber content, goji berries. So when you put them in, it's going to push food through you. Very good. It's going to break down food. They're highly enzymic. Although by the time we get them, they're 10 days in travel. So it loses some enzymic value and vibrational value, I feel. You can get the really wild Tibetan goji berries, which they're moist. They're unbelievably tasting. They melt in your mouth. Those are probably the best ones in regards to the highest digestive enzymes. We have products in the United States that you can just buy digestive enzymes and they push. But if you want a really natural, organic alternative to it, put goji berries into your body for a week straight and see how you feel. Those are three really primary attributes of goji berries, which are, I think, would be beneficial for the world to try out. And by the way, it could be expensive. So my take on raw food is, okay, so you're paying $10 for a bag of goji berries. But if you knew your life was being altered in a really positive way, and you're putting a value on your life saying, I can't afford these berries, and you're buying sneakers that are $100, why not spend $20 for goji berries, or $40 for goji berries, or $50 for goji berries? There's no value you could put on your health. So goji berries, they're actually, you can get a bag for I think around $7.99, depending. There's a lot of good companies that make them. Novelist, or Navitas is a good company that makes that brings in goji berries from the Himalayas. But the key is the goji berry is one of the best superfoods on the planet. Now, this is kind of folklore, but there are people in China. They can't document this information in terms of documents because then everyone would be eating goji berries in the world. But there are Chinese ladies now that are conducting interviews. They've been proven to be 150, 200, 250 years old eating goji berries. Goji berries are anti-aging to the nth degree. And also, I guess the reason they're living longer is obviously they're not in modern society, they're in a more of agrarian place where there's more peace and relaxation and they're more in touch with nature. But still, they feel that the goji berries are contributing to this longevity in their life, which is so beautiful. So that's really it on the goji berries. I mean, we can go on for a little further about goji berries, but maybe you have something else we want to explore, Tuche.
I think that's all for today.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.